Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. Traditionally, the African American community has turned to the religious community for help with many aspects of life. Now, a new organization is working to strengthen that connection by teaming churches with social service organizations to better meet the needs of Detroiters. The group is called the Coalition of Churches and Communities, or C3 for short. Joining me now is the founder, Deacon Charles Thomas from Evangel Ministries. Also here representing partner agencies are Nicole Pitts of the Cooley Reuse Project and Carl Zerwick of Rippling Hope. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
So as I said in the open, this is a tradition with a pretty long history, the idea of social services and the religious community, especially in the African American community. That is a pillar. Talk to me about what's different about what you're trying to do here, Deacon.
Well, what makes this different is that we are actually extending the hand of God beyond the walls of the church to meet the needs of the people. We can change the city by its aesthetics and how it looks externally, but to really bring about an everlasting change, it has to take place in the hearts and the minds of the people. And so as we meet the needs of those people, then they're able, with the love of God, to be more receptive to what it is that we're offering. What makes this unique is that you have the president, you have the governor, and you have the mayor. They are like coordinators, and that they delegate. And so what we need is an institution or organization that really coordinates the services so that every church, we have 3,000 churches here in Detroit.
In Detroit, sure.
And so how powerful that would be if each one of those churches were there as a resource center to meet the needs of the people. And while we are meeting your needs, let us speak to your heart and your mind. Let us give you some spiritual guidance. That's what makes C3 so unique, is that it actually goes to the churches, find out what their needs are, what they want done in their community, and we personally will design the programs to coordinate with the churches so a specific time, specific assessment of what it is that they need would then be clearly understood and implemented, and now that church, the people in the community, can meet that church's needs, and the needs of the church can meet their needs.
Yeah.
And they don't have to travel far.
Right.
And that's the thing,
Right.
accessibility.
It's in your
accessibility.
Neighborhood. Talk about from the social service agency side what the strength is of having churches involved in something like this. Both of you. We'll start with you, Nicole.
Well, there's no question that the churches are an extremely strong and long-lasting institution, especially in the African American community. But at the same time, we have to harness, like Deacon Thomas has said, the people who can't come on Sunday, the people who don't find that they're able to attend a Sunday service, and make it available to more people in the places that they live. And again, those needs are so great. From my perspective, I'm a community college teacher at Oakland Community College, and there are so many people who want to strive and want to move forward and thrive themselves and their families. And without those resources, we don't have the ability to improve our community and our city.
And what is the project that you work on, Cooley Reuse Project? I'm not familiar with that.
It's been a long time in the making. It's almost 4 years now. And what we plan to do is turn Cooley into at least 40 units of eco-friendly residences. And also, we like to call it an urban...
The high school, the old high school.
The old high school,
Oh, really?
320,000 square feet of
I was going to say, it's a big
space.
place, right? Yeah.
And it's a national historic landmark. So it's a very important place with a very long history. But the urban resort is what's going to, I think, draw people and make it a destination.
Yeah, yeah. To talk more about your project in particular and how this partnership with churches helps you deliver services better.
Sure, thank you. Rippling Hope is a nonprofit, volunteer-based organization. We've been working with Deacon Thomas for 4 years now. We're based in Northwest Detroit. We serve in partnership with 50 plus neighborhood associations and block clubs, primarily focusing on home repairs of folks. But the most important thing, and the reason I just love Deacon Thomas and I have been talking about these kind of ideas for a long time. But one of the things that I like the most is Rippling Hope is about connecting communities, channeling hope, and changing people's lives. And a significant part of our mission is to provide people with an opportunity to share the love of God that we're all called to do through loving our neighbors. So we give people practical ways to do that by going out and caulking somebody's windows and doors to seal up and save them some money, painting their front porch, cleaning up their backyard so they have a safer place to live. But in terms of our relationship with Deacon Thomas and this effort connecting churches, that's a significant piece of our mission, is connecting diverse communities, because most of the people who come to work with us are folk who come from other places.
From outside.
Who are outside. And so we're intentional about bringing them here and letting them experience the wonderful hospitality in Detroit of Detroiters, but also coming to realize that Detroit is a deeply spiritual city. And the people here are deeply spiritual. And so this effort from Deacon Thomas to get churches intentionally connected is, we all think that we're part of the same group, but he's pushing us to say we really need to be connected.
Deacon, what are some of the things you hear from people in your congregation or in other churches about the things that they need in Detroit? What are some of the things that come up over and over again that programs like this will help them with?
Well, the key first is accessibility. Because to have a need and not feel confident that it can be met creates a problem. And so those needs vary depending on what community you're in. Some of the things that are more constant is, of course, education, of course, health, and medical attention. As we know, the clinics here, the mental health clinics, have closed up. And so a lot of the issues that occur are not simply because folks are being randomly choosing to be vindictive. Some of them are mental illnesses. And so therefore, those are some of the main concerns. And that's why C3 is so unique, just like with Brother Carl, is that envision going into a community, because the way I have the churches designed is that they're designed by their borders. And so every church has borders. And so we go into a community just with one of his initiatives. We go into a community and everybody around that church receives the opportunity to have their external homes cleaned up, fixed up, have their repairs done. That makes a dramatic impact in that whole community. And that's just one service. One of the issues that was brought to my attention, and it's so true, is that a lot of the congregations that are in churches, when they leave the churches, they go to communities everywhere. And so the church that's sitting right there in the community are not meeting the needs of those in the community.
People who are in the community.
And so this is designed to do that. And just like with the Cooley Restoration Project, in terms of providing education, training for the community, that attempt addresses the whole community. There are also
not just the congregation.
Not just the congregation, not just the folks that are directly around Cooley, but surrounding neighborhoods, surrounding businesses. That's an awesome project, and the fact that we are able to work together, the service is the same. That's what's important. We may all have different ways of getting there, but we should all be focused in one direction. So when we get there, we're not just there, but working together, being the change that the world needs to see.
Amen.
What about from the social service side, the things that you see or hear that people really need that the churches will help you sort of identify?
The thing that I find overwhelmingly people say to me is mentoring and education. All kinds of different things can happen in a large building like Cooley, 320,000 square feet, but so much can happen in just a conversation between two people, intentionally working together to help move people forward. Lifting as we climb is what I like to think of when we talk about the partnerships that we've created so far and the partnerships we hope to create to help each other to deliver even more services, to make even greater impact.
Carl?
I think the power in the churches, I mean, it's historic, as we've said.
Yeah.
And there's people in churches. And in the church, those of us who are part of the church, whatever faith tradition we might be from, have a call from God to serve our neighbors and to help our neighbors who are in need. And so I believe that we just need to provide folk with the opportunity to get out in their communities, and whether it's through education, through health care, through providing home repairs like our organization, whatever it is, there are ample opportunities for all of us to serve. And the churches, every neighborhood we work in, almost all of the neighborhood associations that we're connected with all meet in churches.
Yeah.
They all meet in a church already. So now we need to get through this initiative, we need to get the church folk outside their doors into the neighborhoods so that we start to have that
And that's
from my
really-
perspective is where hope is going to ripple out.
And that's really getting at that one of the fundamental problems in our neighborhoods, that isolation
Exactly.
that has taken hold as people have left, as houses have gone abandoned. That really is one of the more palpable things you feel when you're in these neighborhoods. So,
That's right.
quickly, we have about a minute left. I think you feel like you have something to add.
It's an incredible book that I have found has helped me to understand what you just talked about, people leaving and why and how it impacts us. William Julius Wilson.
Sure.
Yeah, the truly disadvantaged. Even just within the first 11 pages, you get an answer to just that very question.
Yeah.
And it's very important for us to address.
Okay. Thank you all for being here, and good luck with C3.
Thank you.
Thank you.